All right. Welcome, guys. So my whole approach today, we're kicking off a little bit late, so I want to get you on the court, but I'm going to put you in the player's role, get you to walk through what I would normally run with this age group in a practice so that you can kind of experience what that feels like from the player standpoint, hopefully enable you with some hands-on learning to do a better job when you're coaching them. Who's coached before? I think I asked that for a few of you when you came in. Good. What's your guys' experience been, if any, with basketball?
Basketball, 0.
Okay.
Coaching, I just wrapped up the soccer season, so
Great.
So I'm going to be limping around a little bit.
Okay.
I'm still finding out what's going on.
Yeah. Sorry to hear that. All right.
So
And I'll be helping do the runaround part.
Okay.
Practices. I played just all through growing up.
Okay.
At least through middle school.
Good. No, I'm always interested to talk to the right context if you guys have some experience. So what you have in your hand is one of 6-week practice plan that I've built. So I'll be sending out the whole stack. That's what I have in my hand. It's 16 pages. It's 6 practice plans. There's one table of contents essentially at the front, and then there's several pages of just drill descriptions. And we're in process of publishing a video series that goes with every one of those drill descriptions. So you can jump on YouTube and okay, this is what he's talking about. This is what it looks like. So the goal today is to walk you through one of those hour-long practices, just kind of show you the framework that I use and what it looks like and what's kind of age relevant for this group. So what's on there is kind of the framework approach, what I call 6 things in 60 minutes. We're trying to get 10-minute chunks or thereabouts and move them through pretty quickly. And from what I understand, you guys will have a full court to practice with your team. It'll be pretty much like this, lowered hoops. So we're going to kind of match the space and the ball size and the height of the hoop, everything you guys are going to be working with. So the number one thing I like to do with any age group is to start with a live game. The most boring thing to your first grader is warm-ups and stretches and anything that's not fast-paced and engaging. And so my solution for all age groups is start a live game. If you're late, you've got to be the sub, or you didn't get in the game to start with, you're behind. And they start to be there on time, I'm ready to play because I know coach is going to throw us in the fire as soon as we walk in the door. We're ready to roll. Works really, really good. So with that in mind, we're going to start with what I call full court relay, which is one-on-one format for now, but we can play this in a 2-on-2 and a 3-on-3. Basically, you've got a baseline team here and a baseline team there. If it's one-on-one, one player's in, one player's attacking on offense, and they're getting back to play defense before they leave. So this player that plays defense to start with gets the ball at the end of the play, hands it to the next teammate in line, and that teammate attacks on offense. So it's a relay style back and forth. Great way to get a large group engaged with a really fast pace of play without them standing in line or being the sub out. My biggest problem when I coach a team with subs is I forgot the 2 subs over there for 10 minutes and they didn't get on the court. So it's a way to keep everybody engaged, really fast pace. And you can progress with, I talked about the younger group a little bit ago, using a shot clock, a verbal out loud shot clock, as a way to push the pace. Because the number one thing that'll happen is it'll devolve into kids backing down the smaller kid, and they take 25 seconds to take a shot. So this size court, I actually like to use 7 seconds. Now, you might start with 10 for their first couple weeks. They get into it. But when they get the ball, it's 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. They're balling it up with a lot of speed and getting better at playing at fast pace, which they're going to need to do in a game. Then we're going to break down finishing. For you guys that were here, the younger group, it'll be pretty similar. Go through a little bit quicker and progress it a little bit. How we can get them really good at the end point of finishing a layup, the mechanical pieces to do that, and then the footwork and the ball handling to get them into that, because that is the shot they're going to take most often, and the one we want them to take most often and succeed at in this age group is getting to the rim in a layup, and then playing one-on-one in a certain situation for that. We're going to go over offensive rebounding, kind of my philosophy of getting players good at anticipating, watching a shooter shoot, where they are in the court, how they're coming out of their hand, learn to anticipate where the ball is likely to go when it bounces off the rim, so they can go take their first step in the right direction and end up getting the ball more often than not. Where a lot of players that don't have a chance to work on that and their coach never really addressed it, they'll stand here and look at the rim and they'll wait till the ball hits, and then they're reacting afterwards, and usually not very successfully, to go get the ball. And then the last half we're going to spend on some team action. So trying to build into 3-on-3 for these guys. We're going to talk about what I call circles and triangles. Circling when the ball is driven to the basket with a dribble, and cutting in a basic triangle shape. So they can really stay out of each other's way is our objective, right? The worst thing that we can have is they're all next to the basket in each other's way and nobody can score. Getting each other out of each other's way allows us space, time, and opportunities to attack. And then we're going to finish with a 2-on-2 game. We call advantage. There's a couple different pieces where you can progress that to playing 3-on-3. So that gives you a kind of overview for the day. Who is capable of running up and down and playing? Cool. Let's step out on the court. We're going to do our one-on-one relay. We'll let the man with the knee have a seat for now, or you can be a baseline coach for me here to get the other players running. If you got a notebook, let's drop it on the bleachers for now because you're going to need both hands. Let me have you 1, 2, 3 take that baseline, and you 3 be this baseline. So you're a team now. You guys know each other's names? Yeah. You're a team, so you should know each other's names. Introduce yourselves if you don't know each other already. Would you mind, John, doing the camera with us as we play? Let me have first player up. Step out in front of the basket. You're going to be defense first. Somebody on offense first. And I'm going to give you guys 10 seconds so you can kind of get a feel for what that's like. So you're playing 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. One shot, make or miss. You're going to get back and play D. You're going to get the ball and hand it off. You get the short stick. I always explain to the player. First player up on defense, you get the short stick because you're only playing defense and you're leaving, but then you'll cycle back in a minute, right? Yeah. Do you know who your teammate's next going to be? Good. Dylan's going to be next. Do you know who your next teammate's going to be? Good. So when he gets done playing defense at the end, he'll have the ball. He's handing it to you, and then you get to attack. All right, let's play. 10, 9, 8, 7. He takes a jumper. Oh, it's good. Dylan's ball. Here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Over the defense. Good shot. Hand it off to Lauren, and Dylan's back on defense. Oh, she's taking it. Hold on a second. You're not supposed to be on the floor yet. Dylan's got to get back and play D. That's where this really starts to work as a game. 10, 9, 8. Oh, she's out of bounds. Whoa, look out. You okay? All right, you're back on D. Next player up. Now you're on. Here we go. Yep. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Jumper. Good shot. Here we go. Grab the ball if you're the player on defense. Yeah. So one thing we can encourage, like it's more of a problem with the older kids, but when she shoots, the next player that's waiting here knows it's supposed to be their ball. They'll run in and take it with a head start. We want to try to give her time to get back. So we want you finishing the play with a rebound and then hand it to the next player. That way they get an advantage after their shot, and we don't have what happened a minute ago where Dylan's out of position and the ball is going on nobody, right? All right, play it. 10, 9, 8, 7. Jump shots. Good. Next player up. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Whoo, on the rim. That's all right. It's a short basket. Good. You're back, and Brian's up again. Here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Ooh, he likes the jumper. Here we go. Now it's back to Dylan. Dylan versus Brian. 10, 9, 8, 7. Spin move. Oh, yes. Beautiful take. You're back on D. Good. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Woo! Good job. All right, let's stop right there. You guys get the idea? So can you see how you could do that with 2-on-2? Yeah. So like if you had these numbers, it makes it a little more complicated. If you had 8 players, would be perfect because you'd have 2 teams of 2 on both sides. Like we rotate 2 at a time, and everybody stays with their buddy. Like that makes it easier for your players. If you had an odd number like we do now, I would say the player with the ball stays on the floor at the end of their defense to get attack, and the other 2 players exchange. Does that make sense? Let's give an example of that. Let me have you and you step up like you were just playing defense. If she ends up with a rebound at the end of the play, she stays on because she's already got the ball, and you run out and she runs in to go on offense. Does that make sense? So we always exchange. Same as we just did one-on-one. We're exchanging at the end of a defensive play. So you guys play D, she's got the ball, you're out, new player in, and we're going. Yes? And we had 2 on D over here. Let's just play it that way so we can see the idea. We get a pass. Good. And a shot. Perfect. So now Brian ends up with a rebound. Means we're exchanging the other two. So you're going to go out, you're going to come in, and we attack. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Woo! Nice move. Good. So you got the rebound. You'll stay on again. Right? Now, what are we seeing as an incentive right now? What is she being rewarded with? She got the rebound twice in a row. She's stayed on every play so far. Like, she never had to leave the floor, right? So now next time, if I'm Dylan, I'm going to go like, I'm going to box my teammate out. I want this ball because I want to stay on the court, right? So we're trying to tie pieces together. And then 3-on-3, just be the same format. Again, if you have numbers that match the numbers you're playing with, then they don't have to figure out who's who. Like, it's a little more work, but if you have two coaches, it's like, that baseline coach, manage that team, make sure we're exchanging and getting the new player in correctly. That coach can manage the other team. Any questions about that? One-on-one relay, great way to get a big group going fast. This is what I start practice with. We're jumping in, we got two baseline teams, and we're firing with a shot clock, and they got the ball in their hands, and they're getting after it pretty quick. Any questions? Okay. That's the wrong practice plan. Yes? Bring it in over here so everybody can hear the question. I'm going to grab my plan real quick, make sure I'm looking at the right thing. Question? Yes. Yes.
Starting out, first graders.
Yes.
You'll have about 4 of them that don't know they have to dribble to come up the floor.
Yep.
Half of them don't know how to guard a man.
Sure.
So how much you do something like this that is fun and engaging, and it's all right if they're running up and down the court.
Exactly. Like rugby is okay.
How do you teach those fundamentals first?
Yeah. So fundamentals are boring, right? And so I'm all about providing the context first. So what my whole framework has evolved to is big picture, situation of a game, decisions made in that game, and then skills that go with that decision, right? And so to answer your question, like I'd be fine like first couple of weeks. Like we might not even talk about what a travel is because like the kid that's rugby style running and actually attacking the rim is really what we want. And putting a dribble into that attack mindset is a lot easier than don't do that. You traveled, give the ball up to the next player. Like he's not going to attack anymore, right? So the exaggerated version of that is when 3rd, 4th, 5th grade girls have been coached that way. They're like, I don't want to do anything where I'm going to get called and taking the ball away. So I'm not going to do anything. we're stuck, right? So yeah, like let them, like the kids that can't dribble, like, and you can differentiate between them too. Like you'll have your two best players, like a good constraint-based approach is like you have only one dribble because I know if we give you unlimited dribbles, you're just going to run the floor against everybody else, right? So like you have one dribble. Now your teammates are assets that you get to use to help you because you're constrained. And the worst player, like rugby, I'm okay. Like he ran 5 steps, but he took maybe 1 of 2 shots for that game or that day, but he was attacking in that mindset. And then we can build the pieces they need to go with it. Really good question. Any other questions?
To kind of build off that, what about defense, right? Because there's kids that are playing defense. What are you telling those players?
So I'm a big fan of, offense is hard for basketball. And so I'm a big fan of delaying the defense development, which it naturally does anyway, and letting the offense have more success, right? And then the same context building is like, this kid is now capable of dribbling by you and scoring. Like now we need to work on how to level up the defense. So the visual I like to use is like a ratchet system. Like we improve the offense until like they're destroying the defense, and then we can start working on the defense a little bit. And then when they make the offense start to struggle, then we're ready for more offense ideas. But if we try to keep them even, the offense doesn't succeed enough to really want to keep trying, right? It's like we made the defense really good. Our offense never succeeds in practice, and they're like, I don't want to play anymore. Right? So there's a lot to that. Yeah, like you can talk about basics, and like I think what we're going to work on a little bit here in a minute as we get to one-on-one is like just getting it into a one-on-one situation. Like don't worry about team defense, help, rotation. Like just like, can you stay with that guy while he has a ball and like have one hand up kind of thing. So yeah, good questions. Let's get into finishing. Let's get everybody a ball that wants to be active. I'm going to use you as a coach here to help reinforce. Can I have you actually take my place right here? Tell me your name again.
Corey.
Corey's going to be our foot model, and we're going to have a line right about here, maybe a little closer, I'm a first grader. I got short legs. We're going to work on two-step finishing. So taking out the dribble because it's a complication. Starting him here with coach as a foot model. So he's designed to get them to match his feet and say ready when he sees their feet matching his. And John, oh, he's not over there. Brian, can you grab the 2 dots? We'll use those again. I like to use colored dots to just put their feet on something to get them in the right stance. Helps a lot. And my favorite rhyme saying I talked about earlier is right is bright. Whatever color dots I have, the brighter color is my right foot. I keep that consistent. Right is bright. I'm here. He says ready. And we're going to make it. So let me borrow a ball, Dylan. We're going to make our first, what I call tag point, 2 steps. All we care about. We don't care if we make it. We don't care about what technique looks like. We just want to count steps. And so he's going to say yes if I take 2 steps. If I take 3 or take 1, he just has a lack of yes. And it's a really loud silence if I'm listening for yes all the time, right? I do this. He says try again or nothing. Then I'm back to the line and I try it again. Let's get all players lined up here. We'll just go single file through this line. And if we had 2 hoops available, I call it racetrack. They go on this hoop. They jog down to hopefully another coach. Somebody get in their position right there, and they go on that hoop. So we can keep the whole line moving pretty quick. For now, we'll just stay this hoop. All right, so you're going to say ready?
Ready.
And then if she takes 2 and only 2 steps, you say yes. Let's try it.
Yes. Ready? Yes.
Good. And no dribble needed for this. Yeah. Yes.
Yes. Ready? Yes. Ready? Yes. Ready? Yes.
Great. All right. Let's stop there. We're going to add the next piece. Were we asking you to dribble? No. Did some of you dribble? Did you also still take 2 steps? He said yes, so you know you did, right? So we're ignoring the variations of what we might be doing to just keep their attention. The worst thing you can do, and the biggest tendency we have as coaches, is we notice a lot of things, right? We could tell him 7 different things as he did 7 different tries, and our first grader has no idea what we're even trying to do anymore, right? So like 2 steps, yes, 2 steps, yes, 2 steps, yes. Whether we took the dribble when we weren't supposed to or not, doesn't matter. We're going to work on that later. Right? Next piece we're going to work on is knee above hip. So let me use you over here so you get a little different perspective. When we jump to shoot a layup, we want to get our knee above our hip. It just takes all our momentum upward into a vertical jump. Helps our shot tremendously if we're a small player with a big ball. So same steps to start out with. We're still on the dots. We're still taking 2 steps. We're going to ignore if they take 3 or 1 steps because all we care about now is knee above hip when they take a shot. Let's try it.
Yes. 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 No.
No, that's great. Like you're noticing. Like it's easy to get into robot of saying yes automatically, and then you'll notice one of them didn't do it and highlight the difference. Good. All right, let's stop there. Great job. So if I see all 7 players go through and do it correctly, like first try, I'm going to move on to my next piece right away. Probably not going to happen to you first week, maybe not first 6 weeks, but by the end of the season, like we do this, maybe we come back to it every other week. Like they know 2 steps, they know what it feels like they're good at it. It's like boom, 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 boom. My 7 players are good. We're going add the next piece. We don't have to stay here any longer than necessary. So next one is our hand position, which I call pizza pan. And I'll ask the kids, like, what's your favorite kind of pizza? Like, get them thinking in that mindset. Like, a waiter carrying a tray of pizza on their shoulder is what we're after. We're going to use a 2-hand grip, and we want pizza pan before step. So I'm here before I start moving forward into my shot. That make sense? Good. Let's try it. Pizza pan before step. Good. And you be our reinforcer still. Perfect.
Yes. Yes.
There we go.
Yes.
Oh, tag her down. You're good.
Yes. Yes.
Perfect.
Yes.
Let's start there. Let's stop there again. What did we notice about making the shot? Does he care? Do you care? Not as much, at least, right? What the players tend to be all about is make it any way I can. Like I got wrong foot, weird hand, you know, whatever mechanics are going on, they'll make it once in a while and they'll be happy. What we're really working on is disconnecting those two. We want correct mechanical movement regardless of outcome. He's saying yes to all those pieces, and suddenly the player's putting together a really good layup. And the best part is, when his yes is not there anymore in a game or whatever else they're practicing it, their shot's going in more often. So now it's a self-reinforcing loop, right? We put the puzzle pieces together to help them make more layups, and now the rest of their life they're going to make more layups by doing it the way they just learned, and we have less coaching needed. Great stuff. Let's back it up and add a dribble. So I said right is bright. If you've got dots, all we do is pull the front one to the back. So right is still bright, but now it's the forward foot. So my lunge is here. We have you move again. You're going to be our foot model. Now that our stance is opposite, we're going to make sure we're giving them a ready that they're here. And we're going to just focus on the dribble timing. So what we want is a dribble plus 2 more steps to basket. So total of 3 steps. What we're going to work on is bounce with left foot. And I used to say right hand dribble with left foot, or even dribble with left foot. And players would be like, bounce the ball with my left foot? Like, what are you talking about? So I just made the more general term of bounce. So I want the ball to hit the floor with the left foot, like it's one noise, same time. Let's try Dylan. You can do, if you want to, do some variations on that like I did earlier. Let's have everybody be coaches for a second. Say yes if he dribbles with his left foot. Yes. Perfect. All right, so now try it to the basket. Yes. Good. Let's try each player. We'll rotate through again. Bounce with left foot. Yep, just go. And that's another good point, actually. Let's pause for a second. Some players will do it and look at you like they stopped their motion in order to make sure they're doing it right before they kept going. We want them to go through it and just listen for the yes on their way. That make sense? So we don't want you to hesitate halfway through. We want you to dribble and keep running to layup, but all we care about is bounce the left foot. Good. All right, so now one thing you can notice as a coach is your players have longer legs than you expected. Some of us are only taking 2 steps to the basket, so I'm just going to scoot us back a little bit to make that work better. And we're going to change our focus. All 7 of us again got it right. We hit the dribble with our left foot. That part's solved. What I now want to see is 3 steps to basket. So we're going to dribble still with left foot on the first one, but make sure we take 2 and 3 before we shoot. So now what we call tag point, just what we're focusing our attention on, player and coach. Tag point is 3 steps. What he's going to say yes to. Here we go. Yes. Didn't hear a yes. Good job. Yes. Now, could you tell what went wrong that didn't get you a yes?
Did I just do 2 steps?
You did, yeah. So what I saw was you dribbled a little early, and then you went 1, 2. Yeah? So the dribble with that foot, again, is the first piece.
So we're doing
Say again?
the left foot is stepping.
Correct, yeah. So all often, you know, if they're having trouble with it, my way to troubleshoot is your green foot needs to meet the ball at the floor. So we're going 1 noise. Good.
Yes.
Yes. That's it.
Yes.
We got it.
Yes.
All right. Now, some of us took 2 dribbles. Not necessarily a problem. What I like to point out, probably older players than you're going to deal with, is that second dribble is kind of in your way of getting it up to shoot it fast enough. So 1 dribble is ideal because I can get to my pizza pan with a lot of time to get ready to launch it. If I take that second dribble, it's just up into my hands and I'm already trying to get it into a shot. It's a lot more complex. So the one-on-one game we're going to play out of this, let's have you be offense first. You've got 2 hours of practice at this now. So feet on the dots are the same. I'm going to take your ball and put you on defense. And what we call nose to shoulder position. So we're going to put you at a disadvantage. We actually call this one-on-one advantage. If you look on my list of games, that's what it's named as. Nose to shoulder, basically our toes are lined up with her dots. My nose is on her shoulder. So she's got a clear path to the basket unless I do something to stop it. So to answer your defensive question, this is a good start point, right? this happens a lot in the game. How do I get back in front of her and at least make her life more difficult? Can I have you borrow that? So defensively, we're trying to get them here so that they have to do a hip rotation into run to catch up with her, right? Really good defensive skill. We're going to have, yes, question.
Is this a defense drill or an offense drill?
Both.
Okay.
Yeah, integrated concepts. You're just doing what we just practiced.
Yeah, okay.
Same thing. You got one dribble to score.
Okay.
There's no time limit or anything else.
I have to take 3 steps?
It's recommended.
Okay.
Yeah. So you could work with that as a coach. Like, what is the important piece for the offense, right? Defensively, I'm not really going to give them anything else than their start position. Like, nose to shoulder is enough for them right now to get some practice running into that and try to figure it out.
Go to poop because they want to win. So that it's like, I feel like it's good for them to be able to practice.
Yeah. So like we're given, like I talked about earlier, like the whole ratchet system, we're giving the offense a clear advantage. They're going to succeed most of the time because our defense has no idea what they're doing. And so it's just the same layup, but now there's somebody running next to me and like I might screw up more often. Like my mental focus has got to be a little clearer. So let's try just playing that way. Ready. There we go. Right? Sure. We can play a lot of different rotations. Sometimes we'll have, yeah, I can take that. I'll take yours too. We can have a buddy system. Like I've got 2 players that are clearly a good matchup for each other and nobody else. Like whether that's on the low side of skill or the high side, like you guys you play against each other, you rotate both of you out, and the next time we trade roles, offense and defense, and we play against each other again. Or if you got a pretty equally matched group, it's like I usually go defense moves to offense. So if she stopped you, you'd be rewarded. Right? No, I said that backwards. If you stopped the offense, if you were a defender, you'd be rewarded by becoming the new defense. Make sense? Yeah. Let's have you play defense for now. Nose to shoulder and a little, hold on a second. Important part of this is to have a ready call. So for the for the younger age group, I would make that coach controlled. As they get good at this, like if I had 2 hoops going available to me and I was a solo coach, I would have the offense ask the defense if they're ready. And then if they say anything, you can go. Because some jokers will say no or like not ready or whatever. Yeah. Like they heard you, they're ready, you go. Right? So we want both of us to be in position. You ask her if she's ready. Any response, you can go. There we go. Great job. Let's rotate 2 more. We'll go 2 at a time so we can get everybody a couple attempts at this. Yeah, I just changed it on you. Just variability of different rotations. Good. Dylan, that was terrible defense. What are you doing? You need to go run sprints. No, I would never say that. What could I say to improve the defense from your perspective? What you just saw yourself do?
It's kind of walking and not really.
Yeah, you're kind of. I would say you almost did a slide. Like you stayed here and she ran and you slid, so she got faster than you and got easier. So I would just say, turn and run. Right? You're trying to get here and be in front of her the next time. Make sense? I wouldn't say what I said first. It's just yell at you and make you run sprints, right? It's like give you something I would give something to think about while you're waiting in line for 2 minutes. When you get back up, it's like, oh, I need to run as my first step on defense, right? Here we go. Ready? She's gone. Oh, good job. Good job. Let's go 1 more. We've done it a couple different ways. That's fine. Ready? There we go. Good defense up high. I like it. All right, so you get the idea. We just chained what the tag teach method I mentioned, kind of big structure of just communication shortcut is what I call it, giving better instructions and giving better feedback. What we just did is what they call a back chain. We did 2 steps with no dribble. We added in our knee above hip and our pizza pan to make that work a little better. We added a dribble, 3 steps. We're getting dribble with left foot. And then we added defense. Right? It's still the same thing. What they've gotten good at now is the 25 reps of the endpoint layup, right? They did it each time with no dribble. They did it with a dribble. Now they did it against defense with a dribble. And now they're getting pretty good at this, right? When we come back to it next week, we might be able to maybe spend a minute, 2 steps and no dribble, maybe skip that. Like, let's go 1 dribble, 3 steps right away and play one-on-one again because we're getting better at the chain of skills that go together. I do, but I tend to do it different practices. Like my constraint I try to put on myself is 10 minutes. Sometimes I succeed, sometimes I don't. But if I try to break down that much detail on both sides, it would probably be 20 or 25 minutes. And so I would just go like this side of the floor today. Maybe we do only the 2-step part, and I can do both sides. But if I do 2 steps and 3 steps with the dribble and defense, it's taking up my 10 minutes so that I would just come back and do the other side next practice. Make those separate. Good question.
What do you do when you're playing my son?
Yeah.
What do you do?
Yeah, he's gonna be a little bit. Yeah, he's gonna be a little struggle for a while. But next week when we play that side, you know, the other 8 players are gonna struggle, and he's gonna be in good shape, right? So yeah, you can encourage him a little bit. Like, we're all trying to get better at this side today, and we're all gonna work on the other side next week. Good question. Any other thoughts or questions? Cool. Let's go offensive rebounding. Let's get everybody that has a ball. Just form a line right here at the elbow. Actually, I'll give you a dot to be a little bit closer. Remember our age group. If we shoot from the elbow, the rebound's going to go over their head more often than not. And how's your shot? Can you miss on purpose?
Yeah.
All right. That's what we need. We're trying to miss on purpose so that players can get good at anticipating where the rebound's going and trying to go catch it. Right? So we're going to use you at the dot to start. Right? And this is kind of just condensing our space so that he's shooting about the same distance as you are. It's not going to bounce over your head. It might bounce to your head or chest height, but it's not going to go over you. So what I like to work on is our first step being side to side. That means you're anticipating, okay, the ball is going that way. I want to first move to the right and then close in on the ball. Versus,
I'm going this way.
yeah, at least first step. The mistake that's made, like these guys don't know anything from anything, so it won't be a problem. But the mistake older players make is they run forward and the ball bounces back where they already were, and they could have not moved at all and caught it, right? So like tracking it in the air, okay, I think it's going this way. Can I close in on it? And then we have a scoring system. If they catch with 2 hands, they get 2 points. If they touch it but don't catch it, it's 1. If they can't touch it, they get 0. But no matter any of those, whenever they chase it down, they can go score it for 2 more, right? And there's no out of bounds. So you're going hog wild, find the ball wherever it is, and go score it back in the basket. All right. Oh, great rebound. Double bounce on the rim. I don't think I can do that if I tried. Yeah, so I like to have players stay with their ball. So you take it out of the basket, whatever you scored it, and oh, yeah. No, you already did the shot. I just want you to keep it. Instead of giving it back to coach, you take it with you to the line. And Dylan's going to throw the next ball to coach. No, let's try it again. You take the ball with you to the line. Dylan's going to throw it at the crippled knee over there. Ouch. So yeah, that way, once he's shot it, he can be looking at the next player, right? I shoot it, they're going to go clean it up. I'm ready for the next ball. Like, we can get cycling faster. Let's try it. Shots away. Oh, good catch. Oh, he got 2 points for the catch. We're just going to go 1 attempt to put back. That way we can keep it going fast. Good catch. 4 points. Perfect score. Good. Oh. Nice, Brian. Here we go. Good catch. And scored. 4 points. We're pretty good at this. Yep, you keep it. Yep, we're going to cycle new ball. There we go. And in. All right, see if you can get some long misses now. They're doing pretty good. Oh, hey, there we go. Chase it down and go score still. 5, 4, 3. She launches. Oh, good. So I would point out you had 3 seconds left on my verbal shot clock. You got time to get closer and score. And also, you got 1 point for the rebound, right? So we're encouraging them to get as close as they can and touch it, right? It bounced pretty far. It touched your hands, but you didn't catch it, but you still got a point for that, right? Versus if I didn't have that point structure, it bounces out of reach. I'm not going to try very hard to touch it, right? I can't catch it. Clearly, it's too far away, so I'm just going to walk after it. Versus like, I want to go Superwoman, touch it if I can. I got a point, and I'm still chasing it down, right? So like you're teaching them to go dive on the ball wherever it went and get it back to the basket as fast as we can. All good stuff.
As a coach, do you typically call out the points that they get?
I do, yeah.
Okay.
And this age group, maybe math, maybe not, but it's hard. You're not going to keep track of the accumulated points as they go through the line, of 9 players or whatever. But I would say like you got 4, right? Yep. You got 2-hand rebound and a 2-point basket made. You got 4 points. So like that's probably enough for them. Like we go through like 3 times, they're like they'll maybe add it up in their head. I got 12 points, or like I know I got 4 every time I went. I'm doing pretty well. One thing I would encourage us with your shot is to try to hit the rim if possible, right? So you had some backboard hits that come off. See if you can hit it maybe back or front rim So it bounces up and out a little higher, challenges them a little more to time the rebound. Let's do a couple more.
Ready?
Go for it. Oh, there we go. Good catch. Woo! Dylan wins Superman catch. That was amazing. Amazing. Yeah, that's right.
4 points.
Nice. Hitting some rim. Perfect. All right, let's stop there. I think you guys got the idea. The progression of this, you'll read through the later weeks, is to play one-on-one out of this. So now you would be here still, I would be defense, and we're working on what I call bump and chase. So who's heard of boxing out? Common basketball cliche. Not a lot of people teach it, and it's kind of old school where we're trying to hold this player back from the ball versus my approach is go get the ball. So I just want to chest bump you and chase it down first if I can. Right? She's still doing the same. She's trying to anticipate, fight around. I always say to the players, like, jump over my head, dive through my legs, whatever you can do to get the ball. I'm just trying to go check her before I get the ball. Right? No, that would be player against player. Yeah, so coach is still shooting over here. Yeah, still using my coach. Coach shooting over here, player versus player. We're just making it one-on-one, kind of constrained space. Like I have one thing to do, which is hit them in the chest before I get it, right? And they have one thing to do is go get the ball, and we're both working productively on that. So again, kind of our whole approach is I would evolve toward that maybe second, third week. I don't remember where it is in my actual practice plan, but make that an add-on skill where like the offensive side is something they can do easily, like one on nobody and get the basic idea. And then defensively, I'm just stepping out here, and now I get to look and anticipate where the ball's going. A little more complex skill. All right, shooting game. We already did this with the younger group. Money basket, simply a shooting race without worrying about technique. We would have a team on each side shooting to try to make 3 baskets first. So as a coach, I'm at this basket, I can be holding up a finger count. This team made 1, this team made 1, 2, 2, 3, you win. And then if we have 1 basket available to us as a team, we just switch the teams to the other side. If we had 2 baskets, then I could have 2 teams playing down there and 2 teams playing here. Winner stays at 1 hoop is the money basket. Team at the other hoop that won gets to come here, and this team that lost goes down there. So you just get a rotation where you get some competition. And if you do a good job of splitting up teams, like level A, B, C players, like I have 3 players per team, and there's an A, B, and C on each team, then we get pretty close games, and they just have a lot of fun with it. Like we can play this all the way up with high school kids. It's just competitive, fast pace. We're not doing a lot of coaching of technique. We're just like shots on goal. Can we move? Hand it to my teammate and get it shooting really quickly. So I'm going to leave it at that for the explanation. You guys have any questions about that? I know these 3 were with me earlier and got to see it in live action, but just a simple framework I use to get a lot of shot repetitions without making it boring for them, right? It's fast-paced and fun, and they're getting shots on goal. The next thing on the list is to get into what I call tactical team offense. So let me have, since you've got a ball, step up to our green tape here will be the top of the key. If I had more colored dots, I would use 5 spots around the arc, but for now we're going to use these this spot and 2 wings. So let's go, you keep a ball and just join behind her, and you 2 can drop your ball. I want 2 wing lines with no ball behind the green and yellow dot. So yeah, Brian, you can drop your ball as well. So the basic framework I like to use is circles and triangles. Let me actually, John, we aimed out this way. Let me borrow a ball, and I'll bring you with me. I'm going to use the half-court circle to just demonstrate the circle concept. Can I use you on the opposite side of the circle for me? So this is how I set it up with everybody I work with nowadays. It's like just my mental shortcut to get them to understand what we're trying to do. So we're teammates. We're on this circle. We can't leave the circle, but you have to stay as far away from me as you can. If I dribble to my right, which way are you moving? To your right. If I dribble to my left, which way are you moving now? To your left. Perfect. Now come join me over here again. I'll keep using you since you got the practice. Let's have you take Brian's spot there, the green dot. So I treat the 3-point arc as a bigger circle. If I attack the basket with my left hand, I want you to move to your left, but stay out. Right? This is where it gets important, because when I attack basket, what do we expect the defense to do? They're going to come in front of me, right? So now it's layup if nobody stops me, or if they do, I can see you right where you're wide open. right? And even if you can't shoot out there, which will definitely be your guys' first struggle with first grade, right? They can't shoot out there, but by catching it out there, they're making a defender come and chase them. So now you could dribble past your defender and score because you've got that space advantage, right? So let's try it with both of you. He'll put you on the green dot again, Dylan on the yellow. And if I dribble right hand, we're both moving one spot to our right. So I got pass 1, pass 2, right? Let's go back. If I drive left, I get stopped by a lot of defense. I've got pass 1 and pass 2, right? Moving a circle. That's about as simple as I can make offense. This is like the tool I would give every coach in the world if I could, to just get out of each other's way and get a lot of space and advantage going on. Question?
I was actually going to ask if you did it with 5 girls, but I forgot we're doing 3.
Yeah, it still applies with 5. Yeah.
Just show like move across the baseline, or do you not
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, that's the simplest way, is continue the circle. So if she was already in the corner, right, let's go ahead and let's make 5 just so you guys see this. Brian's here. Let me have you over there. I don't want to make my my man with the knee run if I can help it. So he's going to move to the right if I dribble right. You're going to pretend the baseline connects our circle. You just go all the way across. You're staying out. Yeah, good. Right? So just one move per drive. So I drove right. We all moved one spot to the right. I got pass 1. I got her cutting down the baseline, which is fantastic. Like, we get a lot of layups out of that. And then if I'm stuck, I know Brian's behind me and I've got space, right? What did we do with the defense by just moving that way? What's the defense instinct going to be? Like, think about a first grader instinct. Like, if they're told to guard a man, what are they going to do when you guys do that? Yeah, there you go. I'm going to be hugging Dylan over here, and the guy with the ball got a layup just about every time, right? It's just pulling the defense apart. Simplest thing we can do. The second shape I like to work on is what I call triangle cutting. So let me get 2 new players in. You can step in since you were just there. You want to take this spot? You can give Dylan your ball. So if I pass, what's one destination I could cut toward? Basket, most obvious one, right? So I call this by where they are going to. Basket cut. Now, there's space up there. If you fill that space, what are you cutting toward? I would say the ball. Good. Now, if I want to go over here, what am I cutting toward? Space. Good answer. Yeah. Most people say corner or whatever, but space, right? I'm away from 2 things. Basket and what else? Ball, right? Space. This is a fantastic spot to be. Like, if you got a first grader who can shoot, like, put him over here after a cut, and suddenly we get wide open shots. Works really good. Those are 3 destinations. I'm either cutting the basket, I'm cutting the space, or I'm cutting back to the ball. Makes a triangle. There's nothing else, no matter what kind of offense and different variety of cuts you can do in basketball, there is nothing else that you can cut toward. I've thought a lot about this. That's the most simple framework I can do to distill that down. And you can teach first graders that very easily. Like, if you're here, there's really only one place to go. The ball's there. I don't want to crowd them. I want space, right? Right. Now we all want to come give you a hug and take the ball out of your hands, like, right? So teaching them that this is effective, like, we can catch and maybe score a layup, happens somewhat frequently. We can get out of the way and, again, pull defense with me because they want to hug their man, and you just get a layup behind me because I cleared the whole basket for you. Works great. And then we're stuck. We don't want to pass to a stationary target. She can cut. Even if she's well guarded, I know I'm filling this wide open space running toward the ball. Like, this player is open to shoot a lot, right? And then we can reverse the circle. So if we tie these 2 pieces together, let me have Dylan take my place so I can get another player action. Just hold that for me for a second. Why don't you guys, you start behind Dylan. Let's just fill the 3 spots behind him. We're going to do like 2 teams of 3 as we get into this. So if we pass and he goes basket cut, when she fills toward ball, pass, Dylan's going to go to space. Now, where did the pass come from? Where was all the defense naturally going to be? Over there. So if you were going to drive, which way would you go? Good.
Yeah.
So we call this drive away from pass,
Okay.
right? Simple rule you can give them that's kind of universally applicable. Anytime I catch it here, I want to drive here. Now this defender that just chased Dylan is in a real pickle, right? They were running that way. If they don't stop me, I get a layup all the time. If they do, Dylan's open in the corner again, right? We're just combining. We did a triangle with a circle at the end. She cut, she caught, and she drove it. And as she drives left, you're going to move left behind her. So if she doesn't have Dylan, you're going to be waiting out here. Yeah? Let's start it from here. So you're going to pass. We'll just do this side of the floor. You cut the basket. Here comes Dylan. He's going to drive left when he catches it, and everybody moves left. Pretty good? Yeah. So that would most likely be a shot for you. Yeah? And when he dribbled, we want you to move left. Now, this is advanced skill. I don't expect first graders, but you're running out. He drives left. I want to move left into that catch and shot, right? That's like level 17 for these guys. We don't worry about that too much. But if you can get those two shapes to work, right? And I would start with the drive. Most coaches would start with pass and cut first, or, ball screen or something else crazy that's not going to work very well. I start with the drive. I call it the order of operations. I just worked with the Spalding high school program this week, and the same thing I taught with the high school guys. You come down the court with the ball, you're one-on-one with your defender, drive. Like, first opportunity, attack the basket. If they stop you, then we kick. If nobody stops you, we get layups until the defense gets good enough to start figuring that out, right? And then second level defense, my guy is pretty good and stops me from driving. Now I can pass and cut to get moving and get a different space. Make sense? Good. Let's try the next three. We'll rotate our lines here a couple times. I want you to either drive or pass. I'll leave it up to you. Okay. Pass. Cut to basket. Brian's cutting to ball. Hold on a second. Yep. Good. Drive left away from your pass. And everybody moves left. Good. And you can shoot it. You're probably the most wide open on the floor. Hey, with the bank shot. I like it. Let's go next three. See if we can get comfortable with this. Let's pass left this time. Yeah, she's got it. Cut to basket. You're going to fill toward ball. Cut. Yep. She's cutting to space. Now drive away from your pass. Good. And Dylan's going to move right because she's dribbling right-handed. And you're going to go that way. Yeah. So let's come back to that. This is really where we can get our players in tune with each other. I call it binocular hands. I want to see her hands. Which hand dribbles with tells me where to go. That's all I need to see, right? We could look at how the defense reacts and a lot of other complex things, but like I watch her hands. Right hand, I call it turn signals. Blinky, blinky, blink, we're all moving right, or blinky, blinky, blink, we're all moving left, right? No matter what I just did. Like you have this tough spot, I just spaced out of my cut to the corner. I can see her hands and tell which way to go based on her dribble. Yeah? Make sense? One of my favorite things. Let's start one more time. You same three. Start with either a drive or a cut. Let's see if we can mix and match our two pieces here. What happens if we drive first? Yeah, you drive. Yep. Which hand's she using? There we go. Now find a pass. Good. And a shot, or let's try another pass. Go ahead. Pass again. Now you pass and cut. Oh. There we go. She's filling the top. She's going to drive away from pass. Score it. There we go. Good. It's hard to score on command. I was a little late with that. You got the idea. Yeah? So we can start with a drive or a cut. Those two pieces intermingle. We can mix and match them any way we want to. Let's try the next three team real quick. You do have a ball. Good. I wasn't sure for a second. He's hiding it. All right, ready. He's cutting. Cutting to ball, cutting to space, drive left. Oh, good. Yeah. Driving left. We got two shooters open you can pass to. Boom. You can shoot it or pass it again. Bang. Good shot. Good. So that piece that you just felt, right? The instinct is to dribble right back. Because I caught it here, easiest thing in the world is to dribble right here. But all the defense tends to be in that spot. And so if we can get them doing nothing else but catch here and dribble here, we just get layups a lot more often. Works really good. All right, let's play our final game here. I'm going to show you the 2-on-2 version first. Let me have Brian come back with the ball again. Let me have you be his teammate on the dot. And let me use you two on defense. You guard Brian. We're going to put you in the nose-to-shoulder position again on his left side. Good. So we know he's going to have to take a right-hand dribble. And, oh, you're good. You're good. Just on the ball defense. You're going to be help defense. I call it big and scary. right? Help defense means nothing to anybody until they're like teenagers. Right? It's an evolved concept. Big and scary works really good to give them the picture. I want to go rah when Brian dribbles and scare him bad enough he doesn't want to shoot anymore. He wants to pass, right? Let's go back a step. So he's got ball. You're big and scary. Good, but I'm going to keep, hold on a second. I'm going to set you up a little bit more. Come back. Keep your feet outside the yellow for now. Good, because you're supposed to be guarding her. You're big and scary only because he's attacking that space. Let's start you in a lunge, right foot forward. Think about our 3-step layup we did. You're in the same setup. You want to be toes toward him and nose to shoulder. So if Dylan's a good defender, he can get in front of Brian and shut him down one-on-one. That's our best move. Probably not going to happen because our offense is going to have an advantage, right? That means our big and scary is the one that's going to stop the ball. And because she stopped the ball, your teammate's open, so you pass. If she doesn't stop you, you score. Yeah? Make sense? You got only one dribble. Score it or pass it. Where are you going to go? No. Why? Which hand's he dribbling with? We're setting him up to have to go right, so you're going to move to your right. Okay? And that does two things. I call it peekaboo. When she at least looks at the ball, maybe moves. When she looks back, she's going to expect to find you where she left you. You're going to disappear and be wide open. Right? Works really good. Let's try it. Play. Boom. Pass. Shot. Like it. Woo! Perfect. Let's rotate 2 new players in. Let's go defense to offense. This is how I would set it up. So you did not score, so your team is out. Let's put extra team baseline for me. Go down here. 2 new players in on D. You're going to be offense with Dylan. He was just your teammate. You're going to be there. Welcome, Coach. I remember you from last year. Welcome back. Yeah.
Nice to see you.
We're just wrapping up our first grader group. Are you coaching 3-4?
I'm actually coaching 1-2, but couldn't make the 3-4.
Perfect. So we can throw you in the mix. What happened? Yes. He's the only one, so we can just keep rolling for a little bit. Good. Let me have a replay. I was distracted and didn't watch what happened. Did we stop the drive from a layup? Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Yeah, come back for a second. Did we stop the drive from a layup the first time? Yes? Did we pass?
Yes.
Did you move correctly? Okay. Let's set you up a little bit more here. Nose to shoulder, right? You're fine. Toes toward basket in your lunge. Like, we want to think about your 3-step layup. This is what you're doing unless big and scary stops you. We want you to be bigger and scarier. Right up here against the yellow line, we're just trying to do this. Like, throw your arms up, yell at him if you want to, scare him to death. What's your only job?
Move.
Good.
Stay.
Ready. There it is. Oh, yeah. Beautiful shot. Woo! Got some chills out of that one. That's nice. Wide open kick and shot. So you could choose either to rotate. If you got a lot of players, I would rotate, make or miss, new players in. If you get more competitive, then winner stays. Like, we just switched a shot. I would have you 2 change positions where you started, but stay on offense, and we get a new defensive team in. Does that make sense? Let's try it that way. We'll reward the offense because they had a beautiful play. So we'll have you start with ball. Dylan's your wingman. And Brian and I forgot your name. Say it again? Lauren are on defense. So you got right foot forward lunge, right? He's got nose to shoulder. You're big and scary. What's your job? Good. Move to the right. We already know she's going to dribble right-handed. Ready. Good pass. Shots again. Oh, good. So, again, opportunity for evolution. Normally I'd play this 1 shot and done so we can rotate fast. If she went and got a rebound, as we get better at this, we can play it out. She got a rebound. Now I can drive. I can pass. We can continue to play from the rebound. Make sense? Cool. Let's show a 3-on-3 version of this. Since you got the ball, let's start you at the top. And we have Lauren and Brian take the wings. My other 3 are going to be defense. And Mike, I'll get you in here eventually. The evolution of this, to be able to drive both sides and use a 3-player team, we call it blind man 3-on-3. So instead of a one-side advantage, which we know where she's going to drive, we turn the on-ball defender backwards, so you're blind. She could drive right or left. You can't see anything until you hear the ball bounce. That's your signal to play. Yeah, yeah. So you're going to be positioned like I am. You're blind to the ball. You get to play when you hear a ball bounce. And she's going to use her first bounce to destroy you and run to the rim. So now it's layup unless big and scary helps on either side, right? But you're playing, where do you think she's going to go?
Right.
Where's her final destination going to be?
The basket.
Basket. Good. So you can be running forward, like checking over both shoulders and figure it out, right? You don't have to be stand still until you see her. But hear the ball bounce, and you're running to try to recover. Big and scaries on both sides. We want the ball side to help stop the ball. So that means if she drives here, we want him, but not you, to help stop the ball, right? Only one big and scary needed, assuming she does her job, right? Offense, we're just watching her hands, right? Right hand, we all go right. Left hand, we all go left. Let's try it.
And I have to dribble first.
You have to take a dribble like you're going to score. Okay, ready? Was that a good shot? No, good. Good example of what most players will do. Let's replay the same again. So what I would just focus your attention on is the two options you have. I call this binary decision making. I won't get into that. I got too many ideas to share today. But only two options makes it really easy for a player to build a lot of different things out of. So option one, layup. Option two, pass. Who's going to determine which one you do? Him, right? So now it's not equal options. The binary part of it is score every time unless big and scary, and then pass, right? So you shot a floater over two defenders. That means room for improvement, right? If he moves at all, we want to pass to Lauren because she's wide open. Let's play again. You can go either side. Try to keep your blind lady guessing. Good. Shot. Oh, beautiful shot. Perfect. So just one evolution out of that. Let's kind of do instant replay. She drove into here. She passed. Was great. Where should you move? Good. I think you did that. Where is open space for you? They are here and here. Yeah. So when I pass, the same as if I had cut to the basket. Yeah. I won't get it back right now. But this kick puts me in the same position as if I cut to the basket with the ball on that side. I don't want to stay or retreat back where I came from. I want to go out to space, right? And now Lauren's the next most open option, and we can play out of that. All right, let's do it again. Let's start you with ball again. Let's do the same matchup. Okay, yeah, absolutely. We can substitute. You're very welcome. We'll be sending you some more info and material soon. All right, you're blind lady again. Let's put your heels on the green tape right here. Good. Mike, you good? You know what we're doing? Okay, good. He's been paying attention. Ready? Good pass. He's open. Oh, look at that. Steps right in the game. Hits the first shot. Like it. Okay, now the pass we haven't worked on. Just kind of getting to our next level. So we just drove right. If I drive right, and let's say this defender recovered really well, and you didn't have to help, so he's covered, right? I can't shoot and I can't pass there. I want to pivot away from basket. So defenders here, if they weren't here, I would have scored. Because they're there, I don't want to do this, which is the tendency most players have. I'm turning right into her hands. She's going to take it out, or we're going to get the eternal jump ball. So I want to pivot away from basket. It's kind of tying it together. My first look is the corner guy. Just continue in that direction around to pass to the second guy, right? What we call a fill behind. So you can just call them option one and option two. I'm driving, option one, keep turning, option two. Now, same question as before. After I make this pass, where do I go? Good, it's empty space. This is why we like 3-on-3. If it was 5-on-5, there'd already be two teammates over here. I'd be like, there is no space, right? This is wide open. I might not get it back, but I'm getting out of the way so that whatever you do next, there's open space to operate. Yeah? All right, let's switch offense to defense. And you'll be the new blind lady. You get the ball. You want to sneak up right behind her so you can get past her. So what I would work on with players is like being here so that my first step is already past her, right? And if he doesn't move, I got a layup already. Trying to make that first big step. And as we roll with this, like a lot of our games, there's a ready signal to get started, like you guys have already seen. I like to say ready but not go. That way, there's a lot of uncertainty for the blind lady. She can't see anything. She doesn't know when it's coming. Coach said ready 5 seconds ago, and then the ball goes when they want to, right? Add some uncertainty for the defense, gives the offense a little more advantage. Let's try it. Ready? Good pass. Yes, Dylan. Oh, he's there. Great job. Right, let's switch offense to D. If we miss, let's get a new position for our offense. So we get somebody different with the ball, different spot on the floor if possible. You good? Dylan's the blind man. Heels on the tape. Ready. Pass. Shot. Silky smooth. Good shot. Okay. Let's go. If they score, let's change positions again, but stay offense. We'll go Brian middle. There we go. Let's go. Yeah, that's fine. Let's do this just because how I do it with players. Stay matched up with the player you were guarding. So we have a new blind lady. We want to try to get every player, offense and defense, familiar with all spots on the floor so that when they're in a game, they know what they're after. All right, let's pull. My dot might be a little bit in. I would pull you up a little bit, Mike, and I would pull you in a little bit. Like left foot just outside the yellow is good. You know you can close that gap quickly. All right, ready. Good pass. Good. All right, let's stop there for a second. What we worked on just before you got here is drive away from pass. So if we catch it from here, we know all the defense was already shifted that way. We want your first look. If you're not shooting it, is to rip your defender's arms off and drive left, right? Now you're getting layup, and we're putting her in a big pickle because she just ran this way to keep up with Brian, and you're coming at her. She's got a lot of difficult decisions to make, yeah? Yeah, let's start you with ball. Dylan's the blind man again. There we go. We got the coat off. We're warmed up. You're ready. Yes. Great job. So room for improvement for you. I would just tell you you're not big or scary enough, right? Yeah. And as we get to technical details, right? What the defense might do a lot in your guys' age group is she opened up her stance and he went right through her, right? What we want to do is lateral step, like rah, I'm big and scary. My hands are up. I'm stepping in his path, and I'm going to deflect a lot of his passes and discourage him from shooting, right? Let's go again. Blind lady, let's back you up a little bit so your heels are on the tape. Good. Ready. Oh, green tape. Sorry. There you go. Closer to the ball. Ready. Good pass. Ooh. Good shot. No, let's stop there because we got room for improvement for Mike. Where did you catch it?
Here?
Yeah. So in our 3rd and 4th grade league, that's okay. A little more details we can work on. What I was looking at is you got closer to the defense when you caught it. Yeah? This is worth 3. That's worth 2. More space. Right? What Dylan was pretty much able to do was stop Brian and turn around and have a hand in your face, right? Versus what we want is if I work to stop the ball like I should, you should be 2 or 3 steps away. He's got to chase you. You're either more open or you got more advantage to drive out of. Yeah? So that tape line is a big, important tool. So if you got to roll the tape, bring it to your practice court, like put down 5 spots like I did. You'll get a good guesstimate of where it is, even if you don't have a tape measure. Like give them a spacing target. Works really good. Because otherwise, we all devolve to packed in the paint. Defense is able to stop us a lot easier. And a lot of what we're trying to do doesn't work anymore. I don't have room to drive because the defense and my teammates are in my way. I don't have room to cut because defense and teammates are in my way. So spacing improves everything. And that's something that we're really trying to work on developing and scaling to every age group. Like that 3-point line matches the concepts that work on this 3-point line when they get to 5th and 6th grade. We are catching it outside the 3 with space. All of our offense works better. All of our shots are a little more open. And everything builds out of that concept. All right. Any questions on that? No. We covered a lot. I kept most of you over an hour. Mike was our only latecomer for the last hour group. So we can wrap up here unless you guys got questions, or I can break down some additional stuff if you want to stick around more. I got 40 minutes of time to give you if you want more.
I'll stay.
You'll stay? Okay. Anything specific you want to see if you stay?
I'm just here to learn.
Okay. Oh, that's good. The more we can get out of this, the better. Who's got to go right now? Okay. Before you go, tell me one useful thing from our 2nd hour.
Oh man. In the 2nd hour, out the cutting game or the cutting tool.
Good. What are our 2 shapes? Triangle cutting
Oh, triangle
or
baseball.
circle. Yeah. So the 3 destinations.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah. Triangle shape. So the cutting was a triangle. The drive was a circle to keep us outside the 3 like we just talked about. And then, yeah, our 3 destinations were basket, space, and toward the ball. Like, those are things that first graders can absorb over time and get really good at. Thanks for coming. Nice to meet you. Anybody else got to go? Yeah. Tell me one useful thing for you.
I think when we started with the one-on-one,
Yeah.
we started like up-tempo game type of thing as
Yeah.
opposed to like a static stretch.
Right.
But like
Right.
kind of getting them interested from the beginning.
Yeah.
Having some fun.
Good. And you know, the reason I call my business play practice is kind of based on the whole method. If you guys are familiar with that, I call it play practice play. Like, I would like to finish with something up tempo, energetic like that too. So like, we've got this going on in a half court. Ideally, given enough time, I would get us now 3-on-3 full court to finish the day. Maybe it's 2, 3, 5 minutes that we get to that, but now they got the chance. Like, okay, in a full court, can I pass, cut, space, like at a faster pace, and like just bring it all back together? Like, that's the golden nugget if I can get that in a practice. I don't get there very often because I get bogged down in breakdown and trying to fix things, right? But yeah, it's really good, just universal concept. Like, I call it throw them in the fire. Like, we are playing right now. Like, you're gonna figure it out from doing more of that. So, good stuff. Thanks for being here. You're welcome. All right. Anybody else? We're sticking? Cool. Anything specific from, let's say, last year, if you coached last year? I like to troubleshoot stuff when I get the opportunity. So why don't we take a water break? I need a sip real quick. And think about, 1 or 2 things that you struggled with last season that we could try to break down and troubleshoot. What age group did you coach last year, Mike?
Let's see. Have a good one.
Yeah, you're welcome, dude.
For the boys, I did kindergarten.
Yeah.
And then for the girls, I did first, second.
Okay.
But,
Yeah, so how about for first, second? That's more what I'm interested right now. Is like, what did you guys struggle with the most for first, second?
I think, yeah,
keeping the ball moving and
Okay.
getting bogged down.
Yeah.
Getting past your defender and getting to here.
Yeah.
And,
Like slowing down, stopping before
yeah,
shooting,
and,
kind of thing.
And other people not really knowing. Other people doing what I did.
Yeah, right. Clogging up the space
Not
and
being helpful.
sure, right,
So.
right. I talked about it earlier before you got here, but one of my first objectives is like get out of each other's way. It's like that's problem number 1 is that we're bogged down in the paint. I don't have room and I don't have people moving to pass to, so we're stuck pretty quickly, right? Anything else?
No, I'd say that
Problems?
that was the big thing that I can remember.
Okay. Anybody else got questions? Stuff to troubleshoot? Yeah.
based on watching them last year,
Yeah.
But I think the concept of move right,
Yeah.
that's hopefully.
Dribble right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dribble right, you move right, and moving right with space. Like that's the ideal. Really helps a lot of that. Yeah. What were you gonna say?
So I have last year a first grader and a 6th grader.
Okay.
And the first grade, everybody just, there's no fun, nobody to roll up.
Right.
Chaos.
Right.
And then with the older ones, it was sort of the same thing. Like they just didn't really know. We had to teach them the rules. We had to teach them from scratch.
Yeah.
So you're talking about not doing. I mean, I'm so old school. Like I just wanted to just do passing drills.
Right.
Mike and I just wanted to do like the Mike drill or whatever.
Sure. Yeah.
And all of the ball handling stuff.
Right.
You're saying to just.
Yeah. Just try to. I guess the best phrase I would say is integrated fundamentals. Right. So like the decision tree is what I call it. Like set up the situation. So it's like this is what's going to happen in the game. Here's the decision you're going to have to make. Like we just did against like big and scary, finish or pass. Like that's a fundamental in my mind. And then we're building the skills into that. Like, okay, here's the kind of pass we should make, right? Here's how to finish with somebody next to you and still make it, right? Here's how to stop and pivot when I'm stuck and pass to the guy behind me, right? And now they all have a purpose for those. Like, what you're talking about is like, I don't know. It's my pet peeve of watching practice is like we're boring the kids to death. They're like, why are we doing this? Right? And and coaches are like, you can see the big vision. They're like, I know where this fits into a game, but for the players, like, why are we got to do this line drill back and forth and pivoting? Like, I don't see a purpose. And so, yeah, just start with play, and then I think about like a framework approach. Like, we're building this spiderweb framework, and then we're filling in the pieces in between as it occurs, right? So like even with the rules, I'm a big fan of like, let them play when it comes up, okay? That's what we call a double dribble. You need to have the ball bouncing all the time. If you pick it up, you have to pass or shoot, right? Versus like, I could read down the list of rules and they'd be like, oh, I hate my life right now, right? So yeah, just kind of taking that, the learner's approach, right? You can think about it as coaches, like I could teach them everything I know, or I could figure out where they're at and help them learn, right? So it's like pushing my knowledge on them or helping them pull stuff from me as it occurs. And, way better for learners. So that's kind of the approach. And so, yeah, I mean, most of my work is building those fundamentals for players that they know how to play, but they're missing a lot of those small pieces. So, I guess the constraint we have as coaches with a team is we don't have time to, like, if we could perfect every player's skill that we wanted to, we would need a year instead of a 3-month season to make that happen. So a lot of it is, prioritizing what can you get done in the time you have. And so I look at the fundamentals, like the warm-up stuff, like you're talking about, is like less leverage of our time versus getting them into the context of play and then building the skills downstream from that.
Very basic question, but
Yeah.
I'm just wondering, like, so like during a game, it's 3 versus 3.
Yes.
What happens if there's like a foul?
Yeah, so we'll have referees, and they've got a rule set based on what they're going to call. My approach is always to recommend don't call every travel and every double dribble, like at least the first few weeks, like get them playing. So
the referee will stop playing and will say whose team it is because there's no free throws or anything.
there will be free throws. Actually, yeah. They'll call them if there's a right. Yeah. So what we talked about earlier, like the defense is usually so poor that they're not actually in position to foul somebody. Like they're behind. We're just gonna miss because nobody stopped us, and we're not good at shooting. But yeah, they have a good framework of rules, so they'll call most things and try to progress through the season to where we talked about early on. I think Lauren had the question, like, do we try to get them dribbling? Even if it's first grader can't dribble, like. I'm a fan of no. Like, let them run and attack, and then we'll add a dribble into that mindset later. And so I try to get the referees on board with that, like, kind of the gray area, but based on the player. Like, I've seen this player dribble in warm-ups. Like, he's capable of ball handling, so I'm going to enforce the rules a little more for him. And this kid that, couldn't be on the floor if he had the dribble, we're going to let him get away with a little bit because he's not really gaining an advantage by doing so. And he's getting in the mindset of attacking. Good question.
There's some reps that are more experienced and are very good.
Yeah.
And when there's a double dribble, they'll tell them dribble. Okay, that's a trout, and then they'll blow the whistle and they'll go over them and they'll explain it.
Yeah.
And then sometimes there are high school kids covering,
right.
or middle school kids covering, and you have to kind of share with them like, hey, this kid hasn't dribbled all year.
Yeah.
Maybe you don't call it travel
every
time he touches the ball.
Yeah, and that's something we're having a talk with Jamie about, of like training the referees to try to get them all on the same page with that.
Most of them are pretty good, and they'll try to teach what they called and why.
Right, I think that's perfect. Yeah, I mean, there's some benefits to doing that. Like, I guess preseason before your first game, spending 5 minutes, like, here's what happens when somebody gets fouled. Like, the shooter is here and the other players are there, and like this is how it works. Like, you can walk them through that. It'll come up, and you might just do that like during one of your scrimmages. Like, we play 3-on-3 back and forth in our practice, and like, hey, somebody got fouled. Let's practice this part. Like, just when it comes up, point it out and address it. And then it's like, the 8-week season is like, your goal is to like give them all those pieces as it arises. There's a lot to basketball, so it takes some time. Regarding shooting, let me just go through some specific footwork stuff you can get into, and then defense would be the last thing I spent a few minutes on. Just footwork for defense, kind of taking the one-on-one approach. Let's get 2 balls since there's 5 of you. Did they put our balls away? You got one. Fine. There's one more in the bleachers, maybe, or we can grab one off a rack. Let me have you out here, Mike. And let me have another player on the green dot. You got a ball, we can use that one. And we're going to work on what I call stride stop shooting. So I don't think any of you, Dylan was here first hour, yeah? What is our stride stop? Remember from our green light. There you go, yeah. It's a 1-2 rhythm. We're ending with even toes. So we play red light, green light with like the pre-K to just practice that, like running up and down, learning how to stop with our feet. So stride stops, a lot of people call it a 1-2 stop. Stride stops, less syllables, faster for me to say. That's why I like it. We're just gonna go left, then right into shot if I'm a right-handed shooter. And that's ideal. Like we can get everybody doing that pretty quickly. So let's have you give Dylan your ball, and Mike, you give your ball to, I forget, Kelly? Nelly, thank you. So we're just gonna start, and the dot is a great target again. Start toes on dot. We want left, right, jump when we shoot it. And we're gonna use the bounce of their pass as our signal to start moving forward. Right, so let me demonstrate that. Bounce pass. When it bounces, I go forward into shot. I haven't warmed up on this hoop like you guys have. Get back to her. So we're trying to just get them to wait for the bounce and then walk into it, right? So I did a little early there. That's great. We get the idea, yeah? Let's try 3 times per player, and then we'll switch who's shooting. Bounce, left, right, shot. Go ahead, Mike. Hey, swish, swish. I like it. Yeah, let's go three tries before we change. That way we can stay with it a little bit longer. One thing I found with younger groups is that the more we have to change lines and where we're at, the more confusion there is and less sticks with them. Good. There we go. Ready. Left, right. There you go. That's good. So I would try to get you to just simplify. So there's only 2 steps. So if you're here, just walk 1 and match to 2. Yeah? Good. You got it. And now I would go smaller step. So think about shooting it behind the black line. So you're going forward, just small step forward. Good. There you go. You got it. All right, that makes sense? You guys could run that in practice pretty easily. You could also integrate that with our money basket game we talked about earlier, right? We could work on this footwork, and then let's play money basket, but shot only counts if stride, stop, catch, right? Does that make sense? Okay. The next piece we can work on is to drive out of this. So if I catch a pass on this side of the basket, left, right, catch means my right foot is free. My left foot is my pivot foot. I need my right foot to step over to go with my left hand dribble. That will take me to a left hand layup. Does that make sense? Let me show that again. So I got stride, stop, left, right. The first foot that hit the floor is my pivot foot that can't move. My other foot is allowed to move. And the term I use is a step over. Just like we call a crossover changing sides with our ball, step over is changing sides, stepping over my other toe to go with my left hand dribble. On this side, I'll send that ball back to you. Let me use this one. On this side, we want a right hand layup, left, right, catch. Because my right foot is free, I can actually do a lunge. So this gains some distance out of the same number of dribbles. I can go here and then dribble with my left, right, left to get back to our 3-step layup with 1 dribble we did earlier. Does that make sense? This is getting more technical details. So if you break it down to pieces, I've got stride, stop. I call it lunge before dribble. So I want them to get here. And now they'll recognize this eventually if you point it out. It's dribble with left foot, and I'm 3 steps to basket. Yeah? So this side's a little more complex. Because we get to lunge before we dribble, we gain some more distance. Our strong side right-hand advantage on that side of the floor. If we were left-handed, to your point with your son, he would do right-left stride stop and could use his left foot to reach before dribble. Does that make sense? So let's practice that a couple times. Let's change. Because he's going to take the ball to the basket, instead of giving him 3 tries, when you pass, go take his place. So when he rebounds, he can turn around and pass to you. So we're just changing places each time. Stride, stop, catch, reach before dribble. Yeah? That's okay. That's why we're here. Exactly. Everybody needs to learn by doing. Good. There you go. And if you got long legs, you might need to catch a little bit deeper. Give yourself room. Lunge with right foot and then dribble. Step, step. Yeah. Yeah. So back to our point about dribbling, I would give you a yes because you did the footwork, right? All we need to add is a dribble to it. Yeah, let's do it again. Reach right leg forward and then dribble. Yeah, let's come back a little bit. Give yourself a little bit more space. Both of you guys are long-legged. You're getting a little too close to the basket. If we catch left, right, go ahead, send it back to her. Catch left, right. Now stop. We want to reach right leg, lunge, and then right hand is going to dribble with left foot. Yeah, you got it. Yeah, you're taking big strides still. So you got farther to the basket than we'd expect our first grader to do. Welcome. We got a new attendee over here.
Yeah,
Jesse, BJ.
DJ.
Nice to meet you.
Meet you.
Yeah. Coaching 3rd and 4th?
Yeah, 1st and 2nd, but return.
Okay, good. Good. You missed a lot, actually. The good news is I'm recording it, so I'm going to try to get that sent out to everybody because a lot of people couldn't make it today. Great feet. I like it. We're just working on more technical skill of catch and drive.
Yeah.
Close, Dylan. I want you to go left, right on the catch. That way you don't have to take 2 steps before you dribble, right? So where players will get stuck with a travel violation. Go ahead, Mike. Where players will get stuck with a travel. If I catch left, right, let's just pause there for a second. Catch left, right. I want to go this way, but now I move my left foot. I already traveled. I need to move right foot first. Because I caught it on my left, that's the pivot foot. First foot hits the floor. Once I catch and stop, it's still my right foot that's allowed to move to get there. That make sense? Yeah? Let's switch sides. You two over here. Dylan and... I forgot your name again. Sarah? Say it again. Kara. I was close. All right. Yeah, you want to jump in here? Great. Hands-on practice. Let's see left-hand drive, Mike. Yes.
Oh,
there you go. That's all right. You're just too close for your long legs. That's all we need. Just catch it with a little more space. Give yourself room for 3 strides. That was good, Kara. Dribble, step, step. There we go. He's got it. Good job, Jesse. All right, let's go one more time. Left, right. Dribble, step, up. Bank. 2. Good. So now you have a 3rd step available, right? So if we count from the dribble, he's got 1, 2, and 3 available. Yeah. We want to dribble with left foot, Dylan. Yeah. So you're reaching your right, but then you're pushing the dribble out to land with your left. Yeah? Let's do it again, Kara. Yes. That was it. That was it. We're kind of taking small steps because we're close to basket as large people. First graders will be about right here. 1, 2, 3. Good, Jesse. All right. No, try it again. Try it again. I was going to move on. I want to get that for you. So reach, now right hand with left foot. Yes. Yeah, that matches what we did earlier with our 3 steps to basket. Good. All right, let's stop there. I'm going to show you how to play one-on-one game with this. Let's keep Jesse there. Let me go Kara out here. And let me use you again as a passer. We're going to put you on defense at the black line right here. Actually, let's use that ball. They're 2 different sizes. We'll use this one. Let's just put that in the bleachers so nobody rolls their ankle on it. So he's the passer. You're going to be here. We're playing one-on-one. Let's back you up just behind the black. One-on-one, but you don't know who you're going to play against until he passes, right? So we're again putting the defense at disadvantage. There's a lot of uncertainty for you. He's going to throw a bounce pass to either one of them. When you catch it, you have only 2 options. Shoot it or drive it within 1 second of your catch. He's not playing with him, right? So when they catch it, it's just you 2 one-on-one, right? And if she scores, she'll stay and you'll go out. And Mike will come in as new defense. If you stop her, you'll take her place. Okay? You guys ready? Might come to you, Jesse. We're past the either side, playing one-on-one from the catch. Here we go. Shot. Oh, it's a good shot. Right decision. Good. So you would go out and one new player in on D. Yeah, toes on the black. Like you're just in the middle of the paint. You don't know which side it's going to. So you're ready to roll. Ready. Ooh, let's try it again. That's okay. Try to aim for the dot. They're doing a good job standing behind the dot. Just aim your pass so they can catch at the dot. Shoo! Good try. You did a lot more sidestep there, right? Versus what I would go for is just straight toward it. Yeah.
3rd, 4th, or
yeah. You could do this for 1st, 2nd. I would probably evolve toward this by the end of the season, right? Like just catching and shooting with the footwork we've been practicing is a lot. Like catching and driving, and then putting defense in front of you. It's an evolution process. So more advanced players you could do this with, definitely for 3-4. Let's see it again. Oh, good drive. Okay. Now back to a concept we worked on with our drive and kick and pass and cut. Where do we always want to drive?
Straight or
Away from what? The pass.
the pass? Oh.
Yeah, remember that? So defense is always shifted where the ball is. Whenever I catch a pass, including here, that defender is coming from the ball side of me. I want to take it, drive away from pass. Yeah? So you caught it, you hesitate a little second, and then you drove back, right? What we find is you're driving into the den where the defense is already waiting for you. You have less opportunities, right? Yes?
Did defense stay until they stopped?
We'd rotate out. So if you got scored on, we'd go new defender, but you're in the defensive line until you get a stop. Yeah, let's try it again. Let's try that again. Yeah, you caught yourself, but the problem was actually before that because you ran that way a long ways before you caught it. I want you just right here catch and shoot.
Okay.
Yeah? Let's try it again. Yeah. Catch to dot. Here we go. Yeah. It's a good shot. Good shot. Still, I would say a lot of your motion was sideways, right? You were here, you caught it over here, right? Which, evolution, that would actually help you. But quicker shot is straight in, quick shot, quick feet. Let's go next defense. He missed, so you take his place, and Jesse's D. Here we go. He's ready. Good. Oh, we're getting serious now. I like it. Good defense. Good drive decision, Mike. Here we go. There we go. Oh, he goes reverse. Great. So that's what we call the zero hesitation decision, right? He caught it. You did a great job getting to him, but he recognized it and didn't slow down. He was gone by the time you got there, right? If we get players good at nothing else individually, that is the biggest leverage we have. Shoot it right when you catch it. Drive it right when you catch it if you're reading that defender, and don't hesitate. Because what we find is most players will catch it, look around, think about it. Meanwhile, the defense is locked in and ready for them, and now we have a terrible try against score, right? Let's play a couple more times. Here we go. Yes. Good shot decision. Same idea. No hesitation is what we want. Good job. Yes. Nice, Mike. All right. So now what are we seeing the defense needs to evolve to? Yeah, you got to get there. Like they're doing quick feet, quick shot. Like it's really hard to stop them. So we get an opportunity to evolve our defense. Let's go one more play. Huh. Shot made. I would actually replay that. Why? What did you not do that we've been working on? Good. Let's replay it. No, didn't move your feet, right? Yeah. You were out here with some space. You caught it and shot it, but I call it the statue shot. I want to get that left right into it, so you got power and momentum, right? So I just point that out like I just did, and instant replay. Yeah, here we go. Yes, good drive. Perfect. All right, so let's talk about the defense side. We had some questions about that earlier. I have worked long and hard on trying to simplify defense for players. What I've arrived at is just 2 letters of the alphabet in relation to footwork. So I call it the L step and the X step. So if Jesse's catching it at the dot and I'm in the situation we were just in, when I get to him, he wants to drive where? Away from the pass. There's space over there. He can do what he wants with me. What I want to do is just the opposite, is force him back toward the pass, right? My buddy who was guarding the man with the ball initially is now in the way. When Jesse drives, like we've got a lot easier time double teaming him, right? And the L part of this is running out into sliding sideways to contain that drive, right? L step. Let's do that pass. Let me just work on my positioning. As you catch it, Jesse, let's just freeze it at the catch. Bounce pass, I get here. So this is what we call a stick arm. What you'll find with beginner players is that they want to come up here, and his first step is always past me. So good NBA defenders you watch, they've got this as a measuring stick. Even if I'm big and slow, I probably have longer arms, which gives me an advantage. When he drives, I've got space and time to recover, right? I'm able to get there. So we work on just that first piece is close out to stick arm. I'm getting here with enough space that he can't get past me. And then slow motion, he can start to drive, and I'm going slide, right? As we get faster, let's go a little more full speed. Just drive left for me. We'll go like half speed. I'm coming out, he drives, and I'm sliding, right? So I'm getting good at run forward to slide sideways. And now I'm containing a drive, right? And the strategic point of this we're trying to build in is my first run is to this side of him so that I know he's going to go that way before he knows he's going to go that way. So now I can definitely load up and be ready for that foot to slide, right? I'm being a wall here. He's not really going to try to go through me. He might go around me, in which case I can recover. But I'm getting him to go where I want him to, and I'm anticipating that. Make sense? Let me show this side, just the mirror image. Mike to a catch. I'm going stick arm here. I want him to go that way, and this foot goes first. That's my L shape, right? Like upside down and backwards L on that side. You get the idea. The second letter is an X. Why don't we actually pause there? Let's get players against players to practice that. Offense, just go like slow motion like you just did with me. Catch and drive. You can try to test them a little bit if they're not in position. Defense, try to get to stick arm first. And then we'll drive middle if you've got there. Let's do this side. Boom. Oh, there we go. Let's do it again. Let's do it again. Harder than it sounds. Get under control, stick arm. Here we go. Good. And then slide. Yes, Dylan. Great. Let's do the other side. Kara, try here. Why don't we go Jesse, Dylan, switch for the next round? Go ahead. Boom. Yeah. So I would change your position to try to influence him to go this way. Yeah. So right from your stick arm, I want to get more here and get him to go to your left. Yeah. Let's replay that one. I'll duck. Here we go. Good. That's it. Good L step, Kara. All right. Other side, Jesse's on D. Ready? Good. That's it. Perfect. The only thing I'd improve footwork-wise is to try to make it a push instead of a pull. So you got here wide, kind of wide enough that you had to use this leg to pull you first. I want to be loaded up so that leg is a push. Yeah? Inside foot goes first. Go ahead to Mike's side. Or Kara's catching a pass. Mike is defense. Yeah? Here we go. Good. Let's try it again. Pretty good positioning. Arms are out here. I want to get stick arm. It's a lot more annoying for a shooter or a dribbler, that hand, especially with your length of arms. Bother her with that. Here we go. Stick arm catch. Good. And then slide. There you go. She's got the handles in the post. Oh. All right, so let's work on the next progression of this. What I like to point out, we actually did a video with my assistant coaches and some of our 3rd, 4th grade players that come to our program, and he asked them to actually do a race, because one of them answered this kind of the opposite way we would want them to. He asked them, if the ball is running and you're sliding, who wins the race? And they said sliding. And so he had them line up on the baseline. All right, you kid, slide the whole way. You kid, run the whole way. He went down and back by the time they reached the opposite baseline. Right? So what I'm trying to change the world of defense on, coaches say slide your feet, slide your feet, slide your feet. If you only slide and they run, they're going to beat you every time. So my X step is just getting you to run. So we're coming out, we're trying to slide, so we're always going to do the L shape first. But now if they start to get past me, I'm going to turn and run because I can cover twice as much distance per step and get back in front of them. That make sense? Who's ever heard coaches say, don't cross your feet on defense? Yeah, common cliche. So what they're really talking about is while you're sliding, you definitely don't want to do this because you're going to trip yourself up, right? What we're doing is turning our hips, shoulders, and toes into a running stride to make up ground and recover back in front of the ball, right? So let's keep it slow on offense. We're still going to drive middle. Defense, we want to try to do step 1 is a slide, step 2 is a run. See if we can get in front of them, all right? Let's try it. X step. Yes. Great job, Jesse. That's perfect. Let's rotate each time. Dylan, go out to baseline. Jesse, go to offense. Mike is defense. Good. Gary, you can stay. We can play both sides again now. We got the idea. Some uncertainty. Good. That's it. Let's rotate again. Mike to offense. Dylan's ND. First step slide, second step run. Here we go. That's it. Good, Dylan. Yeah, and the size of your step doesn't really matter as much. You want to just be going fast, right? I could be a real short step and even short running steps, but it gets me moving quickly, right? Here we go, Kara. Yes, great job. What do you notice so far about number of steps we need to run before we're kind of back in position? Yeah, 1 or 2 is what I found, right? What do most coaches work on? Like, if you remember drilling with your high school, or maybe you guys have done this as coaches, how do coaches teach defensive shuffling? Right, you go a 3-mile run on a shuffle in one direction at one speed. It's terrible. It never happens in a game. What we find is it's 2, maybe 3, right? I might go shuffle, shuffle, run, run, shuffle again. I'm not doing much else more than 3 steps, right? And running tends to be 2. It's just what I found, kind of universal. You scale up the size and athleticism players, offense and defense, we still end up at about the same, 1 or 2 steps. So that's my whole thought process on one-on-one defense, is just get good at those transitions. If you can get good at running towards somebody into sliding in an L shape, and you can get good at running from a slide into a run and back again, X step, then you're going to cover most of what you need to for on-ball defense at least. Any questions about that?
We have to take off.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Tell me a useful thing.
Big and scary.
Big and scary. Good. One of my favorites. That's a recent one that I came up with. It's been really useful. I just tried it with the little kids and that was working, so I kept trying it. Now the high school kids are talking about big and scary and like who's got the biggest claws, whatever they can come up with. It's great. How about for you? Drive and cut. Good. Yeah, so what I call circling the drive, right? So I like to differentiate actually, like the term you use, cut, is more specific in my mind of you are going somewhere versus staying out of somewhere, right? Drive and circle to the corner versus if I told that player to cut, they would probably go to the basket, right? So precise terminology over time, but getting the circles and the triangle shapes to mix and match together works really good. That's great. Anybody else have questions? If you want to stick around a few more minutes, we got like 6 minutes left. And troubleshoot some more stuff. Jesse, what news from the front lines do you bring from your season last year? What do you guys struggle with the most?
Spacing.
Yeah.
Defensive position.
Defense positioning. Yeah. So I think spacing on offense. So let's do a quick review. You guys able to stay a few minutes? Yeah. Let's do a quick review for Jesse, just because he wasn't here at the start. Let me have Dylan up here with the ball. Mike, you sticking around too?
Yep.
Okay, good. Let's actually. I'm thinking about this. I guess I'm not going to use you for right now. I'm going to see I'm going to show Jesse what we worked on. So, what I call circling the drive, trying to get all players that don't have the ball outside the 3-point line. That's why we have our tape here for the mini guys. So, as long as he's dribbling right-handed, we want you moving to the right. And if he were to dribble left-handed, you'd be moving to your left. That's my method of keeping each other out of each other's way. And then what tends to happen is he's either getting a layup because your defender is hugging you, or your defender helps and he's finding you with a pass outside. Right? So let's just play with that. You can drive either way. Let's see if we can get both players moving. Left. Perfect. And then where does Dylan go? Out to space. Good. There we go. Let's do that again. Mike, you can sub in for somebody if you want to. Let's keep Jesse in because he missed the first part of this. We can sub everybody else, get Jesse some more reps. Here we go. Drive, left. Good. Find a pass and a shot. Good shot. Perfect. So you're kind of connecting 2 pieces, which is not a bad thing. I want you to kind of stop here if the pass went to him and see what he does next, right? Because if you continue circling when he just caught it, you're now kind of cutting into his way, right? Let's just try one more. You start with the ball. Drive either side. Left. Okay. Pass. All right, let's stop there. So, common problem. I just saw both of you did. Where did our dribble take us? Went sideways, right? So your dribble kind of went over here outside the lane line and passed. Where do we really want you to go? to the hoop, right? I want to put pressure on that defense at the rim as much as possible. Like my way to frame it to players is like, go dunk it unless somebody stops you. Like I'm going hard, 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 and then I pass if they stop me, right? And then same with you. When you caught it from that side, you did a good job going away from your pass, but you really went outside instead of attacking basket, right? Let's go again. Dylan can rotate in still if you want to. Let's see if we can do, what we just did was actually great until I stopped you to correct some stuff, but 2 drives before we score. So we're driving, passing, maybe swing on the outside and drive again. Drive right, kick, Dylan out, there we go. Drive left, away from pass, everybody moves left. Oh, Dylan McBuckets in the corner, like it. Good job, guys. All right, so then my framework for cutting, I just call triangle cutting, trying to go for 3 destinations. So we just talked about basket. If you were to pass to a wing, you can cut to the basket. If you're under the basket, you can cut to space. And if you're away with space, you can cut back toward the ball, making a triangle, right? And that's my way to set it up for players. And we can work on it one at a time, or we can start integrating that as a 3-player team. So let's try just pass, cut, ball cut. When Dylan catches it, you got the choice, shoot it or drive it. Make sense? Let's try it. Pass to Kara. Jesse's cutting. Good. Pass again. Shot. Okay. Yeah, that's all right. That's all right. You did extra pass. So let's replay that last part. We did part 1 and 2. Let me get Dylan here with ball again. Figure our dot out. Okay, good. So when you pass to him, we don't want you to cut. Why? What do we want him to do? We want him to drive. Yeah. There's difference in terminology, but the same idea, right? We want this guy that just ran into this open space to be able to attack. If you're cutting and he's driving, you're now in his way, right? So you just hang out for a second. What he should have done, what we wanted was to drive away from his pass. Now he's here and you're circling behind him and we're staying out of each other's way, right? So let's start again. Start with a cut, pass and a cut, and then the player that runs toward the ball to catch our second pass is the decision maker. Shoot it or drive it. Okay, well, let's go back a step. Go back to where Jesse caught it. 2 things, actually. One for Dylan. I call this a halo cut. What you did is a banana cut. You basically followed this shape. So when you passed, you cut, you were really never a threat to the rim because you started curving away too soon. Yeah? Halo cut means I'm going to put the basket over my head like a Christmas angel before I go anywhere else. Because usually it's really this line is a great marker. Between this line and the basket is when I am suddenly a step ahead of my defender and catch and score. If you cut that off too soon, we never get that chance, right? This is my pet peeve with high school teams. We run motion, we're all doing banana cuts, and nobody ever scores the basket. Coaches are frustrated. Second thing, for you, where'd you catch your pass from? Kara, want to drive away. Good. And then for both of you on his drive, right? So you kind of expected which way he would drive. He went to the right. We both went up behind him, right? So that means you did the right thing because he drove right. You need to go to your right. Yeah, just to the corner. Yeah, because you were out here when he drove, moving to your right. Yeah, let's try that again. This is great interaction. We got cuts, we got space, drive left, or shot. Perfect. Yeah, you are the most open guy on the floor, right?
It's hard to know defenders.
Yeah, it's hard to visualize, but what happens is like just that. Like if you guys do nothing else for your team on offense, like run this cutter, run our best shooter here, and shoot it because when that cut goes, and she's potentially going to drive, all the defense is hanging around the basket, and you're just wide open here, and we don't have to do anything else if you got a kid that can make it, right? That's the secret. All right. That all make sense to you?
Yep.
Yeah?
That's good.
Triangle cuts, circle the drive. It's my 2 favorite ways to, again, stay out of each other's way. Any other questions for me? I think we're done otherwise. Yeah?
What's for 1st and 2nd graders?
Yeah.
Defensive positioning. How do you explain it?
Yeah, so actually you just missed that part when you were here. So I call it big and scary. So if you got the ball and Kara's here, this player that would be a help defense in normal terminology, I call big and scary. So that means my only job is to scare you so bad when you drive that you don't want to score anymore, you want to pass, right? And we just get whoever is strong side, like ball side defender. So if I'm guarding her and you drive this way, it's me. If Dylan was out there and Mike was our help defense big and scary on that side, if you drove left, it's Mike. big and scary, stop the ball. Other than that, I don't tend to work on it very much with that age group. What I talked about earlier is I call it like a ratchet system. Like we need to improve offense to the point where they are really destroying the defense before we really want to make the defense good enough to stop them. Because in practice, if we get the defense good too soon, the offense really struggles and we don't see enough success to like make it fun and incentivized for them to really keep working at it, right? Like all these concepts, like if we drive and kick and pass and cut, but the defense is excellent and we actually are not open when we're doing the right thing, then we're disincentivizing what we really want them to do. So I guess the big and scary and the L and the X step on an individual basis is kind of where I spend my time. And then I let the rest of it kind of evolve. You know, you're going to find some specific things for your team as you guys play games. Like, okay, Johnny clearly doesn't understand big and scary when the ball is here. So now we can start the ball here in a game and figure out where should we be positioned on defense based on that versus always in the middle, that kind of stuff.
One more question.
Yeah. Oh, I like questions.
First and second graders shooting. A
Mm.
lot of them are like this.
Yep.
This. Do you worry about
I don't.
one hand?
I don't. Yeah. So I've spent a lot of time thinking about that and just working with players by repetition. So I have really changed my philosophy over time to be all about power rather than precision, right? Which means like chest pass, two hands, we're getting it to the goal. I'm good with that. Like we're getting enough power to get a shot to the basket. And that's what the players care about. And then over time, we can get them more precise to come off of one hand and two fingers. But if they don't have enough power, like where coaches are wasting their time in my mind is they get players, even in high school, this is a problem, they get players really good with touch and precision right here. But when they back up, all that goes to shit because they don't have enough power. Right now, it's just like, poof, I never make a shot. And coach is like, do more form shooting. Like, okay, I can make 10 in a row right here with nothing but net. But 3 steps back, I am completely lost. I have a completely different shot. I don't have enough power. Like, everything's gone. So, you know, the footwork we worked on, stepping in and shooting from your chin, like, that's where I spend most of my time. And, like, you know, we talked about the pre-K group, you know, first, second graders can evolve a little bit, but like shoot from chin and thumbs together, like just get them getting some power up there. Like, believe it or not, they'll have enough success to like keep them going with that, like just being able to reach it. And then also the framework we have with a 3-point line is an incentive for that. Like this is worth 3 now versus we're all collapsed in the paint and it's all worth 2, right? So we got space. Now the kid that's strong enough to shoot it from there is incentivized to try a 3-point shot. Yeah. That's a good Jamie question, actually. I like to do it. I don't know if he's adopting that from me or not. 3-point line, as we have here, taped for our 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th.
I haven't put a lot of thought into that. Like,
Okay.
my instinct is we probably wouldn't
Okay.
do that just because for some of the divisions it's a shorter court and it would be a little bit difficult to.
Sure.
You'd suck up a lot of space on that.
For the 3-4,
3-4s,
it's full court here, right?
It's full court. I think for 3-4 we'd probably be
And
willing to go
1st and 2nd is also this full court or no?
first and second.
Yeah.
I believe 3-4 is
3-4 is big court.
big court.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Lower rims.
Okay. Lower rims, but big court. You're on 3. Yeah. 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 So then, you know, you could do what I have here for 1st and 2nd grade. I wouldn't worry. Yeah. Okay. That's what I remember from last year. So yeah. So I mean, I'd highly recommend just what I have. Like it doesn't even have to be a whole arc. Like 5-spot tape. Like they'll figure it out. Referee can approximate it. Like I'm here. Is this a 3 or not? Like I'd give it to him. He goes maybe toe on the imaginary line connecting the dots, but like yes. Right. Right. You know, because, you know, players already want to do this. Coaches are terribly against it for the most part, but that's because they're normally playing from this 3-point line to there on a 10-foot hoop. No 3rd and 4th grader can do anything with that, and it's a terrible shot. If it's closer, lower hoop, smaller ball, now it's a good shot, and I'm strong enough to make it, and if I can make it, the defense has to come and guard me out here, and everything works better because we have that spacing, right? Yeah, lots of good stuff. Any other questions for me? Cool. I'm going to be sending you guys some materials. I have the 6-week practice plan I mentioned. We have the video series kind of in process. I'm still editing and publishing those to YouTube right now. So we'll get Jamie the whole playlist link so you guys can have that. And then we have the online coaching course called the Confident Coach. We have your info from our sign-up sheet, so I'll be sending that out to you. It's 4 videos about 30 minutes. One is about practice design. One is about instructions and feedback. And then there's one on offense concepts and one on defense concepts. So kind of just hitting you with the basic philosophy and framework, like here's how to run practice, how to give better instructions, how to make your offense work with what we just worked on, and how to get some basics on defense so that you can hopefully survive against the best offensive team in your division. Any questions? All right, tell me one useful thing before you leave. Most useful of the day.
The L.
The L. Cool. I like that. How about Dylan?
Drive away from the pass.
Drive away from the pass. That's a beautiful one. You can get a lot of layups if you just get one player doing that all the time. How about Mike? Maintaining space. What are 2 ways to do that?
The one that I'm thinking about is if the ball is coming
Yeah.
down the middle, instead of drifting in and closing that
Good.
space up.
Yeah.
Staying
Creating more space. Yeah, and players will tend toward that, like we talked about a little bit. And it's important for you guys to reinforce, like, more space is better. Even if you're the weakest kid and can't shoot out there, you are gonna pull some defense out with you and give your teammate a layup, or have an advantage to go dribble by your defender because they have to chase you out there, right? Like, that's the kind of the first thought in player and parents' mind is like, my kid can't shoot out here, or I'm a player I can't shoot threes. Why am I out that far? Like, getting them to do that consistently just opens up everything else. Cool. How about Kara?
I like the X.
Yeah. Good. Yeah, useful tool. Kind of counterculture of most coaches, like shuffle, 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 shuffle faster, shuffle more, shuffle in a straight line. None of that works. We need to run. Yeah. Yeah. Awesome. All right, guys. Yeah.
Layup. What do you do? How do
Layup. Oh, you missed the best part of the day. Was our layup. Let me borrow my dot over there, Dylan. Yeah. Jesse with the extracurricular class. So this is what I start with: feet on dots and 2 steps away. So we're not including a dribble right now. We're just getting them to go 1, 2 into layup, right? And I like to have the coach be, I call it the foot model. You stand here, player stands on dots, and you tell them ready before they're allowed to go.
Yeah.
So that you're letting them get their feet organized, and then 2-step layup. And then the 2 other pieces I tend to work on is knee above hip. So they'll get here and do something like this. We're trying to pull right knee above their hip when they shoot it. Right? And so you could, if you have another coach or just yourself, you can stand here, kind of see profile view. Are they bringing it up when they shoot?
Okay.
The third one is a pizza pan. So I'm putting it on top of my shoulder, and I'm trying to stay here until shot. So pizza pan until shot. I'm putting it on top of that so that I have a simple hand motion up there, right? And then the third piece is just to add a dribble. So we're working on timing of the dribble, bounce with left foot, and then 2 more to get to basket. Just trying to get them really consistent with feeling that timing. Yeah, you want to try it?
Wait, so it's 1.
It's 1, 2, yeah, without a dribble. And then
with a dribble.
with a dribble, you're going to bring your right hand to dribble with left foot. And then you're taking 1 plus 2, 3 steps. Dribble, step, step, layup. There you go. He's a natural. Yeah? You try it again?
I got an order queued up for God's Time.
Yeah, all right, good. Jamie's on it already. Yes. There you go. Right?
And then up here, I like that. That's good.
Yeah. So then you got dribble to pizza pan, one we didn't get to earlier, is like when you pick it up, we want to get right up to here so I'm ready to shoot. Right? So that's where you can start to integrate some pieces. And then my favorite one-on-one game to start, once they've got that, is let's have you on offense again, is I get defense position here. So what we call advantage one-on-one. My nose is on your shoulder, on your side, so you got a path. And now we're working on the defense is our X step again to run and mate you. And we're giving you giving you only 1 dribble constraint. So you got to just go turbo 3 steps and figure out how to score it. Yeah.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yeah.
Cool. You're welcome. That's one piece I didn't tie together earlier was in here, we're working on the X step right there. We get some reps out of that. Good. All right. I think we're done. Thanks for coming, guys. Had a lot of fun. Nice to meet you.
Thank you.